People who don't care what others think about them share these 14 powerful beliefs. Do you have these beliefs? Do you live in fear of judgment? Do you constantly worry about what other people think about you and your choices? Or do the opinions of others mean very little to you? Welcome to my channel, God's Care Jesus. Let's start this video, so please keep watching. If it's the latter, you'll probably find these 14 beliefs resonate strongly with you, and that's what makes you so immune to other people's thoughts and judgments. And if it's the former, well, then adopt these beliefs too, and you start to find you just don't give a damn anymore either. 1. Judgments by people you don't know are irrelevant. You're never going to interact with these people. They may look at you walking down the street or sitting across from you on the subway, but that's where it ends. They walk past, you get off the train, and poof, they disappear from your life. What they may or may not have thought about you has absolutely zero influence over your life, because they're no longer in it. 2. Judgments by people you've just met are temporary. We all judge other people when we first meet them. It's a shame, really, but it's also a natural response. What a person looks like, what they sound like when introducing themselves, how firm or floppy their handshake is. We make instantaneous judgments based on first impressions. But first impressions don't last. As important as they are made out to be, it's what comes after that matters most. And as people get to know you, it's highly likely that any negative initial perceptions they had will soften and disappear. 3. Judgments don't always influence how a person interacts with you. Even if someone does maintain a particular judgment about you, it doesn't always make a difference to how they treat you. We can have these thoughts about others and yet maintain a perfectly good relationship with them. We may even really like them in spite of our judgments. 4. Judgments can be positive too. Have you ever stopped to think that people might be judging you positively? Judgment is not inherently negative. We just assume that when someone judges us, they are pinpointing something they don't like about us. In reality, many of the judgments we make are about things we do like in a person. We admire their determination. We find them attractive. We are in awe at how well they can work a room. 5. People will judge you one way or another. Those people who can't help but judge others, they'll find a way to judge you whatever you do. So here's the question you have to ask yourself. Would you prefer to be judged for being your true self, or the self you try to project to the world? The answer should be easy. Why would you want to be judged for something that isn't really you? You wouldn't, right? If you're going to be judged, you might as well show the world who you really are, and to hell with what they think. 6. A person's judgment is a reflection of their own insecurities. When someone judges you, it's important to recognize where the judgment comes from. In truth, their judgment of you is merely a reflection of something they dislike about themselves. 6. A person's judgment is a reflection of their own insecurities. When someone judges you, it's important to recognize where the judgment comes from. In truth, their judgment of you is merely a reflection of something they dislike about themselves. It might not be the exact thing that they are judging you for, but there's a niggling insecurity somewhere beneath the surface that's infiltrating their thoughts. They have a pain point, and it causes them to seek out the pain points in others so that they can feel less alone in their hurt. Oftentimes, if you are yourself, people will judge you because they are jealous. They wish they could be their authentic self, but their own fear of judgment prevents them from showing it. 7. Most people are too busy fighting their own battles to care. Life is hard and people are often consumed by the challenges they face in their lives. Any judgments they may make about you are no more than passing thoughts before their mind returns to the things that truly trouble them. Just ask yourself when the last time was that you spent any great length of time thinking nasty, judgmental thoughts about someone outside of your close personal relationships. Perhaps people have fights. After all, the little judgments we make mean so little to us in the grand scheme of our days. They float away in our thought streams and pass out of sight. Why fear these fleeting and insignificant thoughts of others? 8. Once you've accepted your flaws, no one can use them against you. The above words were spoken by Tyrion Lannister in Game of Thrones. They contain a very important message and a lesson we all need to learn. Yes, we are flawed creatures. No one is perfect. Those who project a perfect facade have just as many cracks and blemishes under the surface. But when you truly come to terms with those flaws, no one can make you feel bad by attacking them. Yes, we are flawed creatures. No one is perfect. Those who project a perfect facade have just as many cracks and blemishes under the surface. But when you truly come to terms with those flaws, no one can make you feel bad by attacking them. You have already accepted that they are a part of you at least. Right now, personal growth should not be ignored. A person's judgments, even their harsh words, will fall on deaf ears because you are at peace with the things they seek to target. 9. Just block the haters. If there is someone who really wishes to hurt you by attacking you, the best thing you can do is to block them. Remove them from your life in any way you can. Remove them from your social media. Refuse to engage with them in person. Avoid seeing them altogether if you can. Haters gonna hate, let them. That's their pain talking, so don't listen. 10. The approval of others won't make you truly happy or peaceful. The opposite side of the coin to fearing judgment is seeking approval. We don't want to be judged. We want others to approve of us and validate our existence. We want to feel worthy of being liked and loved. But here's the kicker, that approval you seek won't bring you the happiness or inner peace you seek. 11. You are enough. You've probably heard this before, but have you actually stopped to think about what it means? You, the person you are today, the person you were yesterday, and the person you'll be tomorrow are not lacking anything. You are not deficient, not broken, and not incomplete. You are enough. 12. Most people are harder on themselves than others will be. Listen, we get it. There are parts of yourself that you don't particularly like. Everybody feels the same. But no matter how others will judge you, you have already judged yourself way harder. 13. If you don't judge others, you won't fear judgment. People who are concerned about the negative judgments of others are often the source of similar judgment. If you look at people and see the worst in them. 14. If you don't judge yourself, you won't fear judgment. 14. If you don't judge yourself, you won't fear judgment. If you see your flaws and you judge yourself harshly for them, you're likely to fear others will do the same. You judge yourself and you expect that others must be judging you too. The converse of this is true too. And that's why people who don't judge themselves harshly don't worry about what others think of them.